Tonight, on Budget Nerd, I burn stuff, I fiddle with a bag, and I give an unbiased review of the new Vankyo V630 Projector. Thanks for checking out the video. Vankyo sent over their new V630 Projector, and it's touted to be an option for the professional arena and more, with its 1080p projection, which is somewhat common in your common corporate conference room. Professional projectors in this category could start around $500 to $700, but this one comes in at $270, or as low as $230 if you use the coupon that's on Amazon. Let's open the box and see what we get. Inside this box, you get your goodies, and the projector protected in this styrofoam. Inside the box, you can see the HDMI cable, power cable, and the AV cable, cleaning stuff, screws for mounting, and a remote. On the underside of this is the bag the projector comes in. The bag is pretty nice and feels like it's made pretty well. Once the projector is out of its hiding place, what stands out right away is the mesh fabric that is part of the front and the back. It looks nice. You also get your controls and the focus and vertical keystone dials. The projector feels well built, and I like the understated look. Let's check out the I/O. You get an SD card slot for playing videos, music, and viewing pictures, 2 HDMI ports, VGA port, 2 USB ports, and one will charge your devices, infrared receiver, AV port, and audio out. The buttons are fairly self-explanatory, but this one is the input button, and this one opens the menu. This dial controls the focus, and this one the vertical keystone that can be adjusted plus or minus 15 degrees. Initially, we set it up during the day with all the lights off and windows closed, and the image looked good. We could see it without any real issue. They say it can project up to 6,000 lux and will project up to a 300-inch screen. Although the further away from the wall, the dimmer it will be, and I didn't have enough space to test that. We hooked it up to the Xbox One, and my son played some Plants vs. Zombies. He liked it, but noticed it wasn't quite as smooth as our 120Hz TV. We also played some Rock Band. Well, actually, we had a whole Rock Band party, where we projected it on the 100-inch foldable projection screen Vankyo sent with the other projector. I've held many Rock Band parties in my days, and I've got to say it made a huge difference, having the larger projection up higher on the wall than the TV would be. It was a ton of fun. The only complaint I had during the Rock Band party was it was easy to notice the refresh rate of the LCD panel it uses isn't the quickest. It was sort of hard, for me at least, to read the lyrics of the songs that were scrolling past. Too much ghosting. I tried the same thing with the much pricier projector I have, and it was so much easier to read and much clearer, but no one else really mentioned it during the party, and it was certainly not a deal breaker. I noticed this sort of stuff easily. So if you're a hardcore gamer and play fast action games or watch fast action movies, you will probably see a bit of ghosting. It's worth noting that the projector introduced around 154 milliseconds of delay to the video, and the sound delay was super low because I had a separate sound system hooked up to the Xbox. Speaking of sound, the projector has really nice speakers. Even compared to the much pricier projectors, it sounds really good. Here, take a listen. You might need to pull out a few items or a panel or two. I found my wire loom for my car after removing the carpet in my trunk. If you're thinking of using this in a conference room and the conference room is not too large, you could totally use the built-in speakers. The familiar cast of file formats return with a pretty good list for video, music, and pictures that you can play from an SD card, but I couldn't get it to play anything from a USB thumb drive, so maybe that's not supported. The colors on the projector are great. The image isn't the crispest I've seen, but it's a pretty close second place. If you use the vertical keystone dial, and turn it to the extremes, the edges of the image do get pretty fuzzy. I recommend using the digital keystone in the menu, and you don't see any of that. Video and pictures looked great in person, and my camera really isn't doing them justice. In the evening or the night, the image was amazing. If you turn up the brightness though, you will start to see the image wash out. It's also worth mentioning the lens cover quickly. It's nice that it has one, but you have to adjust the focus all the way in to be able to put it on. A bit of a nuisance, but after a few days of use, I couldn't get it to go back on at all. It just kept falling out. I'm not sure what changed. The menu is functional with options for changing the aspect ratio, changing the orientation if you mount it on a ceiling, digitally shrink the video size, which is what I did to fit it on the screen for Rock Band, changing the keystone digitally plus or minus 45 degrees, updating the firmware with a USB drive, and more. The digital keystone is a nice touch and recommended, as it won't blur your image edge as previously mentioned. It even has an auto keystone option, which is pretty nice. In fact, they say you can set up the projector at a 45-degree angle and still get a normal looking picture. To test this, we set the projector up outside and had it project some Christmas thing on our garage door. We had it off to the side so it wouldn't be in the center of the driveway, and it worked well. Sometimes I found it hard to get it exactly perfect, but we usually got it close enough. Although, don't try this or set it up outside, as it's really an indoor unit. So that's about all I wanted to cover. I totally recommend the projector, as long as you aren't after a super fast refresh rate. It's hard to fault it for that though at this price point, but do keep that in mind. Other than that, it's pretty nice. It's a pretty big leap in the affordable projector market. Check the description if you want one, and thanks for watching.